And good evening, and welcome to the iRacing iROC Challenge Series mini season race number 3. Tonight we are at, and I'm gonna butcher the name of this track all night, but we are at Tsukuba, which is the only road course on the mini season calendar tonight. For 25 laps, I believe. It was originally going to be more than that, but waiting on confirmation, but I think they've knocked it down to 25 laps tonight. And qualifying has just begun as we are riding along board here with the 22 of Matthew Kopp, who is starting his flying lap right now.
And I was in there practicing with them earlier, and there's some fast drivers.
Yes, the top two were within 1/10 of each other. Steve Stinger and Aaron Smith were the top two in practice, with Funkhauser not too far behind. So we should see some close racing for those top three positions. And then on further back in the field, they were pretty close as well. Just about half a second or more off of the pace of the leaders. But amongst themselves, all the way back, like 4th through 10th or 9th, they were pretty close. All right, and Matthew Kopp's going to come around and set a time there. 101.9, so that puts him in 3rd place right now. Let's switch over to Aaron Smith, who is currently provisional pole sitter with a 59.9, but I saw him lay down a much faster lap in practice. So he's on his 2nd lap here. Let's see what he can lay down. Ooh, saw the rear end step out there on Smith a little bit on that last turn there, but he does not improve his time. So let's go on board with Steve Singer, who is it's between Steve and Aaron Smith, we think is going to be the battle tonight. So let's ride on board here. He's on his 1st lap. His 1st lap, he lays down a 1-minute flat, so that puts him provisional 3rd place. Oh, big mistake coming out of turn 1 there. That's gonna ruin it for that lap. And I believe the guy's only got 2 laps for qualifying tonight, so he was starting his 2nd lap where he made that mistake. So I believe that's going to be his time set right there. He'll be starting 3rd place. We got Kason Hendrickson here, who's got some damage. Looks like he's been off the track. Yeah, he has. He's hit something out there, but no time on the board, which in qualifying, if you do run off the track, leave the racing surface, your qualifying lap will not count, and he definitely left the racing surface there.
I just got back. Do we have some action?
We did. Steve Singer, who was one of the favorites tonight, made a big mistake coming out of turn 1 on his 2nd lap, his hot lap, and therefore he only set 1 time and put him 3rd place, fortunately. The third place isn't a bad place to start here, and I'll explain why as soon as we pull it up here. So it looks like it's going to be a standing start from what I can tell. They did that last season in the road courses as well, but the reason I'm bringing up third place, not a bad place to start, is he's going to be right behind the leader going into turn 1 on the outside of turn 1, which is the preferred line when you're too wide because the next set of turns are left-handers. So generally here on a standing start, it's the second place person who is going to have a bit of a challenge to drop back in line by the time we get down to and I'll pull up a track map here because we're having to learn the track turn numbers as well tonight. But you'll see turn 1 is that first turn there is a right-hander, long sweeping right-hander. And then they go down through a bit of a S's there, turn 2 and 3. And then turn 4 is that really tight left-hand turn. And that's what we're talking about. The second place person has a big disadvantage on that run down to 4th turn there. So first and third are in prime spots. So Steve, we should see, as long as he gets through turn 1 clean, he should take second place. All right, and they're about ready to go green.
Green, green, green.
And they're off. And I tell you, standing start in these things are a heck of a challenge just because of the tire spin. So great start from Aaron Smith.
You gotta make sure you don't slip that tire.
And Steve Singer already up into second. We've got some action going on back here. But the 72 of Conway got a little sideways there coming out of 1. Everybody's staying. I saw someone lock tires up there, but it looks like they all got it going. Back up here for the battle of third. 66 of Harger and the 2 of Funkhauser. Closest people together on the track right now. It looks like everybody's pretty much spread out. Are we going to see the 2 of Funkhauser make a move going into turn 4 down here? Nope, not close enough.
Turn 1 should be a good spot to try to make a pass in.
Yeah, I can tell you, did a practice race with these guys earlier in the week, and turn 1 actually, because of that, the previous turn there being that long sweeping turn, and as the tires wear down, it's really hard to get on the throttle. And you'll see right here, we've actually got a pass going on. Let's check that out. 66 of Harger missed the braking point there, ran wide. Now Funkhauser's going to take third. But actually, the biggest passing point in the practice race we did was going into turn 4, the slow, tight left-hander.
Interesting. That's about a 1-lane track in the turn before.
Yep, there, and then also bring up the track map again. Going into turn 7 was another good passing point.
Is that the second to last turn?
Yes.
I know that turn, the brakes, one of the left side wants to lock up on you unless you got your brake bias set correct.
Yeah. And that's one thing we should see most of the guys struggle throughout the night is braking. Locking those tires up. If they don't have the brake bias set right, They will lock the front tires up, and then one of the challenge with these trucks is having too much rear brake bias will heat the rear tires up and not allow you to get on the throttle. And it's just going to be a battle all night. So they're pretty spread out right now. We've got Steve Singer about a little over 4.5 seconds off of the leader there, with Funkhauser trailing behind Steve there about 1.5 seconds. I believe he is. Let's check out the lap time differences. Yeah, Funkhauser ran 0.6 faster that last lap, so he's reeling him in. But Steve, he's been practicing all week. He may be tire saving because I believe I'm trying to get caught up. A little bit of drama before the session got started. It was supposed to be a fixed setup with limited fuel to force a pit stop, but I believe there was a mistake in the session setup, and now that's no longer the case. So they do have enough fuel to go the entire race without pitting. So Steve knows he's got to do 25 laps on these tires. It's a long time, so he may just be taking it easy. And 0.7 slower that previous lap there. Funkhauser catching up to him very quickly here.
Yeah, but 5 full seconds is a long time to make up.
Oh, definitely. Definitely. And, you know, I don't want to try to get in Steve's head, but Aaron Smith was throwing down some times in practice. You know, Steve may just be thinking second place is, you know, my goal tonight.
And that's one thing I didn't do, practice the long run.
Yeah, tire fall off here is atrocious. I've been joking with the guys earlier about recalibrating their throttle pedal so that when you press it down fully, it's only 50% throttle. And yeah, on a long tire run, you kind of want that.
During your race, did you see it beneficial to shift into third coming out of the turns instead of second?
You talking about short shifting? Or taking the turns in third?
Coming out in one gear higher than you normally would for your hot lap.
Oh, no, I never did that. I did short shift, pull the track map up here. I would short shift coming out of 4, going into 5. So the tight left-hander, you're in second gear, you bog it down really bad there. But coming out of 4, I would short shift up to third and take turn 5 and 6 in third gear, which helped a lot.
Do you remember what gear ratio you was running?
It should have been the Coda setup with 4.3.
Yeah, that's what I was using. And I believe that is what was mentioned in the race chat as a suggestion for guys to choose.
And we see Funkhauser is all over the back bumper now of Steve Singer. Right on the nose here of Funkhauser as we go into turn 1. Ooh, we see the 6 of Steve there lock the rear brakes up. And that's gonna allow Funkhauser to take a look there, but Steve had that preferred line going down into turn 4, so nothing Funkhauser could do there. It looks like Steve is struggling for rear grip on braking and exit. And you know, a lot of that can come into play once you see a guy in your mirror all over your back bumper. You start getting on the brakes harder, you start getting on the throttle earlier.
And we almost just had a big whoops.
Ooh, where at?
Apparently, I'm admin in the server, and I almost misclicked removed Joshua Funkhauser from the server, but I corrected my mistake before I was able to do that.
Yeah, that wouldn't be good. Oh,
Yeah,
and
that
it
would have been a harder one to explain.
looks like Steve Singer and Funkhauser here are coming up on lap traffic, so we'll see how that plays into how this battle shakes out here. Okay, and Doug does pull off the track there, so they get by clean. Steve's really taking a wide line in some of these turns here. It allows him to get a really good run off of the turn, so there's nothing Funkhauser can do. As I say that, he takes the inside here. And he's going to get it. But Steve's not giving up. Coming out on the inside there, but has to drop back in line. They head down into turn 4. While they were battling, it allowed Smith to extend his lead out to a little over 7 seconds. I'll tell you, I'm surprised. I know how much Steve Singer was practicing. I ran some practice laps with him, race with him. And he was really consistent and fast, and just a little bit surprised that Funkhauser was able to get around him and is now pulling away, all while we see Steve back there just looks like he's just struggling with grip. I'm wondering if, since they did have an open setup, if he might have tinkered around with the setup a little bit, trying to, get an edge over these guys, and may have messed up his long run speed. I'm not sure. But we'll definitely ask him if we get him in the booth tonight. Looking at the 72 of Carson Conway, he has either been hit by someone or has hit something. Quite a bit of damage on that truck, but he is sitting in 5th place still. Just looking. We've got one in the pits, but I believe that one, Case and Hendrickson, I believe they towed. So, check in on Doug Wysocki here, currently 7th place. Oh, and we've just had a little action here. I believe it's the 5 of Doug Thomas. Looks like he got a little loose. He's lapped down, got a little loose in front of 66 Cody Harker there. So while that happened, while he was following the lap car there, he allowed 72 of Conway to creep back up to his rear bumper here. He gained a second and a half on him that lap. So we may have a battle brewing here in a couple laps if Conway can keep up those lap times.
Is there a competition yellow?
There is not. Which I'm sure if you're Aaron Smith right now, that is the last thing you want to be talking about is a yellow flag.
Could accidentally misclick caution. I think every road course I've been in, we've had a competition. Not every, but most of them.
Definitely makes the racing more interesting, but you know, I can see it from both sides. Or if you're someone like Smith and you've just been, you know, working your tail off to pull an 8-second gap, all that kind of goes to waste if you have a competition yellow, and then something can happen on the restart, get taken out of the race. So yeah, from a viewer perspective, yeah, I'd love to see the caution. From a racer perspective, I get it. I don't want to see it.
If you're the leader, you're midway back. And then...
Oh yeah. And you know, if you had those competition yellows, you know, some pit strategies could come into play. You know, maybe pit a few laps before it, and have fresh tires and try to gain track position on that restart. There's all kind of different things that could play in.
Oh yeah, if it was pre-planned, that's definitely what I would do. But actually, the lap times that they're running right now are not too far off of qualifying, so that may not be a good strategy.
Yep.
It's about, no, it's 2 seconds. 2 seconds. Never mind.
Yeah, looks like about 2 seconds. And we've got 10 to go now. So the 70th Smith, still our leader. Joshua Funkhauser in second place, little over 8 seconds behind, and then third place Steve Singer. So let's ride along here with Steve Singer a little bit and see if he's been able to get some grip back in that truck, maybe slow down a little bit, not use his tires as much, not spin the tires, see if he's still struggling for grip or if he's allowed his stuff to cool off and able to drive a little more consistently around here. Looked like he was pushing a lot through turn 1 there. Just he had full opposite lock on the front wheel there, the steering wheel, and that truck just would not turn. That tells me he's probably running a pretty forward front heavy brake bias.
Yeah, that brake bias made a huge difference. And when I was practicing, I can even tell a difference between 0.5%. And I would imagine as the race goes on, you probably have to sit there up and down the whole race. Do you remember that from your practice race?
Yeah, I actually I started pretty rear heavy and I had to dial that back or I guess you could say dial it forward as the race went on, because I was struggling. I was overheating the rear tires too much. And I wasn't spinning them coming off, the exit of the corners because I had really good throttle control. It was my brake bias that was heating the rear tires up. So I shifted that forward a little bit, cooled the rears down, and that helped the balance of the truck a whole lot. But yeah, I was definitely adjusting it. I think we did 30 laps in that practice race. But we did pit, so I think we only went like, 17 laps on the longest run. But, these guys are going a lot longer tonight. 25 laps. Let's see if we've got any close action on track. Like everybody's pretty spread out right now.
It looks like your closest is going to be 7th and 8th.
Let's tune in with them. So we've got 7th place Doug Wysocki, and then Eric Dotson there, trailing behind 2 seconds back. Check out the lap time difference. Oh yeah, wow. Last lap, Dotson was 2.5 seconds quicker. So, and then the lap before that, almost 2 seconds quicker. So he's definitely closing in on him here with 6 to go. It looks like the 87 of Eric Dotson is one of the HBR, the Holler Boys Racing teammates. I believe there's 3 of them out here tonight. Steve Singer, Dotson, and Conway, maybe? Yep, Conway. Alright, let's see the difference on this lap time here. Ooh, a second. So Dotson definitely coming here. And I gave him the broadcaster's curse. Like he did get it going. I don't see any smoke coming off the truck. Oh, we've got a yellow. Oh, that
A surprise competition yellow.
did maybe our admin misclick there, or was that an iRacing caution?
That was an admin caution.
Love it. All right, so we're gonna have us a nice little shootout here. Gonna be interesting to see if anybody goes to the pits. Tires would be worth about 2 seconds a lap here. But you're giving up some track position.
And it is only 5 laps. 2 of them are going to be burned up by the yellow probably.
Yep. That's a tough call.
But
I
2
believe-
seconds. That 2 seconds is a lot.
Yeah, I believe I'd be pitting. Especially, we're seeing, trying to keep up with the timing board here. Funkhauser is still 20 seconds behind Smith here, so he's not able to get caught up. Smith may get a pretty good jump into the pits here. Yep, and we've got some comments coming in. I think everybody's in favor of pitting.
Yeah, since this is going to be a 2-3 lap shootout. Yeah.
I do want to see someone maybe back in like 5th or 6th take the gamble and stay out and just see if they can, make that truck as wide as possible. All right, and our leader's going in. And looks like most everybody's following suit there. Joshua Funkhauser staying out. That's what I like to see.
I don't know about it.
Taking that gamble.
That's going to be tough to pull off.
Cody
I don't see it
Harder
happening.
staying out as well. I think he was running 4th or 5th before the yellow. That's going to move him up into 2nd place.
The tires will cool down for those drivers, so they will have a little bit more grip than what they just got done racing with. But the question is, 2 seconds. Is it going to be 2 seconds worth? I don't know.
Yeah, and that little, what I call the honeymoon period there, where the cool down tires, it really only lasts about a lap or half a lap. It falls off very quickly.
Yeah, and we're thinking oval too. I'm not sure how much of a percentage tire wear happens on a road course.
And it is a tight track. Not a lot of passing opportunities, so my question is it going to be double file or single file? Do we know?
I saw single on the race control.
Okay, that helps Funkhauser because that's going to put someone in between him and Smith, the 66 of Harger. So Smith's got 2 people he's got to get around. Those lights are off that pace car. It's coming in. We're going to go green.
Green, green, green.
And they're off. Oh, good start by 66 there. Harger going to take it up the inside.
I'm going to say Aaron is just waiting.
Yeah. Being very cautious. You can see the 66 lock his brakes up going in there, so 70 of Smith's going to make an easy pass there. 4 to go. That's, I believe Funkhauser wanted to see a few more laps under yellow there. Ooh, big lock up there from Steve Singer, I believe that was. Yep. Oh, 22 of Cop, and I believe that was Wysocki. Yep, and as I was messing around there, we've got a pass for the lead. Aaron Smith back into the lead. I think that's one of the turns there. That last turn is where new tires shine.
Funkhauser did put up a good battle, though.
He did. He held on to it there for a
Wanna
little
go back
over
to
a lap.
replay?
For the pass.
Yeah.
Yep, here we go. So you can see Smith gets a good run off of, oh gosh, gotta pull the track map up. Turn 7. And then is able to get up the inside there. Turn 8, last turn. Just make a clean pass. So now we've got Singer closing in on Funkhauser. Singer is on new tires.
We do have a
Funkhauser.
battle for 5th and 6th.
That's right. The Carson Conway.
Matthew Kopp did get around. Or sorry, Carson Conway got around Matthew.
Yep, and Conway was the one that had damage earlier, so he went in and took a quick repair. No, he did not. There was damage on the rear.
And Singer has caught up with Funkhauser.
Oh, all over the back bumper
Gives
there.
him bump, yep.
A little, hey, how you doing? I'm here. Gonna go around you. Ooh, big mistake
Runs
there.
off the track, yep.
All right, so Singer's up into second place. So Funkhauser was in second before the caution, so Singer does make up a spot with that pit strategy there. As we start the final lap. Nothing in front of Aaron Smith, so he's got a clean track all the way to the end. So we're going to assume he's going to keep it clean, and we're going to put the camera on these two right here, Funkhauser and Singer. And Neil Quick just commented that that was the old McCann bump there that Steve gave Funkhauser.
Kevin McCann bump, yeah.
I believe the if we're talking about the Brian McCann bump, there would have been quite a bit of damage on that car that got bumped, you know, taking him out of the race into the wall. I think we could call it the Brian McCann dump. That a bump.
Funkhauser spun in the last turn, or the second to last turn. He might get past in the last turn here.
Yep. He's having a very hard time getting on the gas there, and that's going to allow Harger. Oh, he puts the block on him. Can he get it? I think Harger's on new tires. Funkhauser's just going to park that truck on the bottom there. Great block. Take home third. Wow. I did not believe Funkhauser on 24 lap old tires was going to be able to hold that many people off. All right, let's pull up the results. I believe he's still waiting on some cars to cross the line before the official results will come out. And there we go. So coming home with the win, Aaron Smith. Second place, Steve Singer. Third place, Joshua Funkhauser. Fourth place, Cody Harger. Fifth, Carson Conway. Sixth, Matthew Kopp. Seventh, Eric Dotson. Eighth, Doug Wysocki. Ninth, Doug Thomas. 10th, Kason Hendrickson. And Austin Trent there in last place. I don't believe he started. He did not grid. Right, get some of these guys up here and talk to them.
I've got the message sent out, and we do have Steve Singer in here now, waiting on the others.
All right, we'll go ahead and bring Steve up here. Hey, Steve, it's Kevin up in the booth. You got a copy?
Hey, Kevin, how are you?
Hey, doing well. So, congratulations there on the second place finish. Seemed like a tough race out there for you tonight. We noticed it looked like you were struggling for grip. Why don't you walk us through how that race went for you?
Well, grip was an issue from lap one of practice, but back and way up, I went to log into a different test session, and magically iRacing was no longer on my system, so I had to uninstall it manually and reinstall it right before the race. So none of my settings were there, so we're starting fresh. But then we get here to the actual race session, and track temperature is 130 plus degrees, so it was slick. I hadn't practiced with that high a track temp at all. In fact, I was running some morning sessions and was getting low 58 laps, and I couldn't barely touch 59s in practice. So it was tough. Aaron's a hot shoe out there. He knows what he's doing for sure. And Josh has certainly upped his game in the last since we ran the Glen. So it was good to see that too.
Yeah, he was Funkhauser there was definitely the surprise for me tonight. You know, we ran that practice race you know, a few days ago. He's made some great strides and improvements since then. And we thought he was going to pull a strategy move there and, you know, give a challenge for the win, but just too many laps left for old tires.
Yeah, I mean, the practice race that we ran the other night that you were in, I mean, you beat me with tires, and I just got fuel only, and you ate me up. So I'm like, well, if he's staying out, I'm going in. We can get one spot out of it.
Yep, definitely. Yeah, we were all thinking tires were a no-brainer, but we 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 were thinking that someone, back fifth, sixth, wouldn't have anything to lose, so they might stay out. Um, so this is race 3, so we've got 2 more left. Let me just pull up where we're going next week because I don't remember. Ooh, dirt track. Going to Charlotte dirt track next week. So, do you have a lot of experience on dirt? How do you feel about that?
Well, remember last time, dirt belongs in the sandbox. I'm not a huge fan of it, but I did get some practice laps in prior to last season's dirt race, though I wasn't able to make the race due to being out of town. I don't mind it's fun. It's not my favorite, but I think if we can just get out and have a clean race, it'll be a good day.
Gotcha. And just checking out the points here, um, you're in pretty good shape. Sitting fourth before you came into this round. I'm not even going to try to do the math, but just based off of how guys finished, you looks like you might make up a little ground on Cody Harger, but you're probably still going to be net, fourth place after this. So you are in the top 5. 2 more rounds to go. I think you're in a pretty good position to make it on in to qualify for the next season.
Yeah, certainly no heroics the next couple races. As long as we can bring it home clean and safe and just keep it above that cut line, we'll be happy.
Absolutely. All right. Is there anybody you want to give a shout out to tonight?
Well, definitely. Again, first my daughter Madison. She's watching on the stream, so say hi to Madison, and also to Grid Engineering. They're a iRacing sim dash company that a friend of mine actually owns now, and they're on the car with us this week. So I just want to give a shout out to Brandon.
All right. And again, congratulations there on that second place finish. It was a tough night, but you came home second and good points night. And hopefully we'll be interviewing you again next week.
Cross our fingers. Thanks, guys.
Yep. Take care. All right, Aaron. It's Kevin up in the booth. You got a copy?
Yeah, I gotcha.
Hey, congratulations on that win tonight. You were just the man to beat. Pretty dominant out there, but that late race caution kind of threw a wrench in things. Walk us through, especially that caution. Was it a tough decision to pit, or did you know you needed those tires for those last 4 laps?
Yeah, definitely needed those tires there because we were off about 3 seconds after the first 20 laps. So it was pretty much a no-brainer there, but I can't blame everyone else for trying it out there at the end.
Yeah, Funkhauser, he held off quite a few people with new tires further back, like 4th, 5th, and 6th there. Definitely surprised us. So kudos to him. But yeah, those new tires, he just had nothing for you there. Tell us, we were talking with Steve Singer, who finished second just before we brought you up, and he was talking about how track conditions were vastly different than what he had practiced with. A very high track temperature tonight, and he had been practicing on colder temperatures, so obviously there was a lot less grip out there than he was used to. Did that kind of catch you by surprise as well, or did you just come into this kind of green, no practice, and just kind of learn from there?
Well, I was expecting it to be cold just like Las Vegas last week, but yeah, we came out here, like you said, with the hotter track temps, and definitely wasn't expecting the open setups to be available as well, so we took advantage of that just a little bit, squatted the back end down, got her to turn real good on the hot track, but otherwise, I'd say I was ready.
Gotcha. Yeah, the open setup was definitely a surprise, I think, to everyone. So it's good to hear that some people did take advantage of that. I mean, if it's there, and these trucks are like driving on ice out here. So any kind of improvements you can make to make the racing better, I'm all for it. So kudos to you. Anybody you want to give a shout out to?
I'd like to thank y'all for broadcasting and all the folks at iROC Challenge for putting this show on, and I'll see y'all next week.
All right. And again, congratulations there on that win. We head to the dirt track next week, Charlotte Dirt, and should be an interesting race. And hopefully we'll be talking to you again next week.
All right. Thank you.
Take care. All right. I don't believe we were able to get a hold of Funkhauser. Is that right, Brian?
Correct. I have not heard from him.
Oh, we'll get him up in the booth one day. He was the one I really wanted to talk to. He's the one that pulled that crazy strategy and almost made it work. But interesting night. Road course is always a challenge, but let's just pull up the schedule here. So we've got next week Charlotte Dirt. That is a small little dirt track. Gonna be a tough one for sure. I'm gonna have to get out there and do some practice laps. I have never driven that track.
Yeah, that's one I haven't driven yet either.
But if it's anything like Eldora, it's gonna be a challenge. And then we end the season the week after that at Bristol for 75 laps. Bristol pavement or concrete.
I was scared to ask.
Not dirt. We have to actually make that distinction now, which feels quite weird. All right, so that'll wrap up tonight. Thank you everybody for watching. We'll end with our season 3 promo video, and reminder that season 3 of the bigger series, the iROC iRacing Challenge series, which is what these mini seasons is recruitment for, will start up the week of, I have to pull the calendar up, the week of the 10th. So I believe our first race is on the 13th of May, and I have no idea what the first track is. I know the schedule's been posted, but we will be running the trucks, and we will those races will be broadcasted by another broadcaster friend of ours, because me and you will actually be out there racing. But if you can, definitely check that out. We'll make sure we get that info posted out and shared, but yeah, we'll take off from here. Thanks, everyone.